What's going on, Rumble? Let's get ready to rumble. How we doing? SpaceX has started their live stream right here. Kate is my co-host this afternoon. And look at Vandenberg. We got a West Coast launch today. It's a rarity, but it does happen. We went for like over a year hiatus there for a while. But it looks awesome. The weather looks great. Usually the rocket has to lift off out of a huge fog layer, but not today, Junior. Let's go ahead and muster up. Where you from? What you munching on? I do have locals live chat open for local supporters as well on Rumble. I don't think Rumble yet has the chat for mobile devices, at least not on Android. But there is a Rumble Rants chat section next to the video on desktop. So feel free to participate there. Of course, I'm coming to you from Ohio. And my name's Unky Kev. And I'm not alone because I got Pjopes with me. What's going on, Pjopes? Yes, excited as always. Of course, Keith Mabe has been in the chat waiting for this. He's super pumped. We did have a little bit of a delay there. Thanks, Keith, for keeping an eye on that. Not sure why. We're not going to learn a lot of things about this mission because it's a super secret mission. Ian is back, of course. Fortunately, this gave me time to crank up the old 2006-7 era Dell laptop. Well, at least you had a laptop back there. That was still mostly desktop days for me. Actually, I might have gotten my first laptop in 2006, or maybe it was 2007. I definitely know in 2005 I had a PC. Actually, I didn't even have a PC. My first year at college in 2004, 2005, I had to use the university's PCs. And of course, Ian's from the UK. UK Ian.
You sound like you're from London.
What's going on, Rumble Rants? CRC64 Error decided to participate in the Rumble Rants chat. Appreciate you there, bro. Indiana for ARM249. Another BFR for the channel. What's going on, Sign Rat? Foggy Mountain. Eating something that tastes just like chicken and from Oregon. Just like chicken, close enough, I guess. All right, so we're gonna go big screen for screen 2, then we'll get to the launch here. Actually, this is screen 1 now that I got my new setup. Whoosh. All right, beautiful day there in California, as it should be. Vandenberg. SpaceX.com/launches. Actually, let's take it back to SpaceX.com/launches because they updated their website. Check this out. This is very much appreciated. So now they since they've had so many back-to-back launches, they decide to finally post multiple launches on their website. So now we got to get more specific. SpaceX.com/launches and then click on NROL-87. We do have Starlink for tomorrow. That's supposed to lift off at 1:13 p.m. Eastern time. We'll try to stream live for that one, but the Midwest is supposed to get hammered today and tomorrow with the snowstorm. We'll see how that works. I don't have Starlink yet, but we'll talk more about that here in a second. So click on NROL-87. This is a super
through in less than 3 minutes.
This is a super secretive mission. NROL stands for National Reconnaissance Office. So whenever we have these missions, they never follow the second stage. After stage SEP, they stick with the booster. We'll watch the booster, and then that will be the end of the live stream. However, we will have an Elon's base TWAT segment today, so it will be fun. Stick with us. Again, it's launching now at 12:27 p.m. Pacific time. That's 3:27 my time here on the east side. And once again, this booster, it's a brand new booster, is going to land at landing zone 4 on the coast there in California. So having a lot of those this year, I love it. It's a jam-packed year of launches, man. Like more than one a week is what's expected on average for the year 2022. We'll see if it holds. Good stuff. So we'll have that boost back burn again. And their stream will end just after T+8 minutes. Good stuff. Good stuff. What's going on, chat? Gyro Falcon. First laptop, Dell Pentium. Okay. 1999. We got Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Always good to have my fellow Americans in the chat.
What, is this a communist country or something? I thought this was America.
Thought this was America. So, what you guys watch on Rumble may be 30 seconds behind, depending on what you're watching on. Keep in mind, Rumble's, it's been around since like 2013, but it's a platform that recently has been getting a lot of attention and a lot of users and followers. So it will improve as time progresses. Hopefully by the end of 2022, I'm streaming exclusively on Rumble. That is the goal, okay? They got things to improve, but it's working, and we appreciate that very much. And we very much appreciate that their free speech platform, ironically from Canada. Leave it to Canada to show you the United States what freedom means, right? Miami, Florida, Scuba Joe. What's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning in today. Ooh, we are on the home page, the Rumble homepage. Thank you very much, Rumble. Try to get that. We'll try to snatch that top video spot from McCarthy. That's the goal for this stream. So yeah, some Starlink news. We'll talk about this more for tomorrow's launch if I get to stream it. But definitely in Friday's episode of SpaceX in the news, that it was announced today that there is a Starlink premium service now. So you could, before you could sign up for Starlink service, get your little dish, your McFlat-face dish, and it would cost you $100 up front. I think it's $500 for the all the equipment, and then $100, $99 a month thereafter as the service goes. But now the premium service, it's $2,500 for the gear. The dish is a lot bigger now. You get faster speeds, better connectivity, and the service is $500 a month. I can't afford that. However, I did pull the trigger, and I decided to finally sign up for Starlink services, because where I'm from, I got pretty decent internet for a very reasonable price. But I always wanted to support SpaceX as much as I can for obvious reasons. And I decided today we just pull the trigger, because although there is service currently in my area, they've said on their website that it's going to expand later this year. So with the chip shortages, even though Elon says they're going to increase production for their terminals, I decided to take that initial step and get at it early. So hopefully by the end of this year we can stream in 4K, because SpaceX does do their live streams in 4K, and I do have a 4K camera, so good things all around. I think Rumble only allows 1080, so again, that's just another thing that they can look to improve, and we're going to be right here with them to help them out with that. We're going to support them as much as we can. Tell your friends, tell all your friends. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to get that equipment and set that up, get on the roof, break my arm. It'll be fun. But I got to thank my supporters on Locals, Patreon, YouTube membership, definitely on Locals, for those of you who help me out with this channel so I can afford these awesome upgrades. Of course, I'll be doing a whole setup unboxing video for it. It should be a good time just for you Locals members. If you're interested, there is a link in the description below this video on Rumble. Let's listen and see what Kate's talking about really quick.
2 seconds, we will light the Merlin M1D engines and set for liftoff. Right now, the NROL-87 payload continues to be healthy on internal power, and the Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. So we're about 20 seconds away from second stage LOX load completion. Everything's
going on
really
Fort
good.
Worth.
As you can see, there's not a cloud in sight. Typically at Vandenberg, we have some fog to deal with. So if you're local to the area, you're sure to see a beautiful liftoff and landing, as we will be attempting to.
See, I wasn't lying. I told you it's usually cloudy there. That ground cloud, them ground clouds, that's all fog is, ground clouds. So if you ever wanted to lick clouds, become a cloud licker, all you have to do is stick your tongue out the car window on a foggy day. There you go. That's what clouds taste like. Peeps is super excited. Wilson decided to join us for this one. Usually he sits off to the left side of my desk, but I thought he could use some FaceTime. T-minus 1.5 minutes. We got that vintage. Here we go. Just smoking. Ah, that's so beautiful. I lived in Southern California for a couple years in the Navy. Gotta say, I miss the weather. Don't miss the politics. What's going on, Fort Worth, Texas? Thank you so much for tuning in, brother.
Look good for an on-time liftoff.
Alaska. Also love to visit there. It's like Bob Ross's favorite state. The strong arm is tilted back.
For launch.
That's what's used to supply the rocket with electricity and fuel.
There we just heard mission directors go for launch, and that the vehicle is in startup. The onboard flight computers have taken over the launch countdown.
The rocket is in control of its destiny now. Hands are off for the most part. The Starlink antenna does move. It follows like the closest satellite, so it actuates a bit.
We're now at T-minus 25 seconds. Let's listen in to the final countdown.
Here we go. Don't get scared now.
T-minus 15.
Not a cloud in the sky.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of L-87. Go Falcon, go, go.
She's away. Get it.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Nominal first stage chamber pressures.
We're now T-plus 40 seconds into the NROL-87 mission. Falcon 9 is throttling down in preparation.
Power telemetry.
In preparation for max Q, which will take place at T-plus 1 minute and 12 seconds. Max Q, of course, being the moment in which the vehicle experiences the highest amount of aerodynamic pressure. Beautiful views of the California coast there in the background.
Max Q.
All right, there we heard the call out for max Q. Everything looking good with stage 1 trajectory. Now, in the next couple minutes, we have 5 events.
Max Q is maximum aerodynamic pressure. That's when the speed of the rocket meets the density of the atmosphere and puts the most pressure on the rocket itself, so they throttle it back a little bit so it doesn't screw the mission. We're coming up on main engine cutoff. That's MECO at the bottom of your screen. It's when the second stage will break away from the first stage, and the first stage will do a flip maneuver and a boost back burn so it can come back and land on the coast. Again, this is a very super secretive mission, so they won't be following the second stage after stage set. It's funny because NROL, the National Reconnaissance Office, tweeted before this mission that, you know, this is a brand new booster. It's a brand new booster, but they are going to reuse it for a later launch for one of their payloads. And they were bragging on Twitter like, we pride ourselves in leading the way and being good stewards of space. I'm like, really, dude? Like, they've been, a lot of different other agencies and companies have been reusing these rockets for years now, and you're just now getting the game. You're no leader, man. And it's also funny that we can sit here and celebrate that this super secretive satellite, this spy satellite, will probably be used against the American people who disagree with CRT under this administration. Am I right? Preach, preach, Kevin, preach. We terrorists. What's up, Eric? Welcome back to Rumble, Kev. Well, I appreciate you. Appreciate that Rumble rant super chat, man. We do stream. We're going to stream about every other launch for the foreseeable future this year. Hopefully, again, we can make it to 100% by the end of 2020. So if you haven't, if you're just visiting, make sure you create an account, subscribe on Rumble. I'm projecting that my Rumble subscribe count will surpass YouTube's by spring, at least the end of spring. That's what happens when big tech censors you. You kind of go stagnant in the subscribers, but on Rumble, we're growing like cancer. Like the cancer that we are. Freedom cancer. All right, those white poofs of gas you see here, those are cold gas nitrogen thrusters, ACS, RCS system, helps orient the rocket. Those big old grid fins you see there. We're getting the full screen view of the first stage now because they can't show the second stage. It's awesome. Big titanium grid fins, the flappy flappers. Once the booster gets into the atmosphere, the thicker parts, those take over and help steer the rocket even more so than those cold nitrogen thrusters. That's the Pacific Ocean, specifically the Pacific. Man, watching the rocket take off and seeing the mountains down there on the California coast reminded me of my skydiving days, man. Miss it.
Landing. The first stage has 2 more burns left.
Turn it up a little bit so I can still talk.
Entry burn, and that's where we will reignite 3 of the Merlin engines on the first stage. That will help to slow the booster down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's atmosphere.
What's going on, Ryan Ritter? It is a pretty day.
The stage, we can see the stage pusher there.
Check out the islands, brah.
Beautiful view. I think that's probably one of the Channel Islands there on the right-hand side of the screen.
I was thinking San Clemente.
We can see
maybe
2 of the 4 hypersonic grid fins. We deploy those shortly after the stages separate, and those grid fins help steer the vehicle during descent. You will also see that right there, we just saw one, like a puff of white gas. That is nitrogen gas from attitude control systems that help control the vehicle's orientation. So there we can see the booster is steering itself back to Vandenberg Space Force Base.
Sweet, floating frozen oxygen, or something similar to that.
Piece of ice there on the left-hand side.
It's always fun to watch it float away.
Absolutely stunning views today, both of liftoff and our landing attempt. As I mentioned before, Vandenberg typically has quite a bit of fog, so it's more common to hear a launch than see one from Vandenberg. So for those that were able to catch it,
come on, peeps, get pumped.
It was a stunning sight.
Treading the game, brah. It's a coastal landing. If you're just tuning in, it's going to be a good one. Very rare to see a coastal landing, especially from the West Coast.
The entry burn. Again, this burn is the second of 3 burns that we will be performing today. And this burn is designed to slow the vehicle down significantly.
Both vehicles are on a nominal trajectory.
It's nuts to see an entry burn from this altitude and have clear skies below.
Of the Earth's atmosphere. So we're going to slow its velocity down with this entry burn.
Stage 1, entry burn, startup.
There we can see that entry burn has begun, and this will last for another few seconds.
They do this to slow down the rocket so it doesn't break apart, hitting the atmosphere, the denser parts of the atmosphere. They'll do one more burn for landing.
Stage 1, entry burn, shutdown.
And we can see that entry burn has concluded.
The grid fins work. Come on, grid fins, do your job.
For a precise landing back at landing zone 4 at Vandenberg Space Force Base.
Smooth ride, no camera shake,
The next
nothing.
burn we have is the landing burn. During the first stage landing burn, a single Merlin engine, the center engine, will relight and slow the vehicle down.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
If you look closely, you should be able to not only see our landing zone, but our launch site as well.
Starting to shake now. Thicker parts of the atmosphere coming in.
Pretty close to our launch pad. Shortly before the vehicle touches down.
Stage 1, landing burn, startup.
See any great whites?
All right, we can see the landing burn has begun.
Any whales? Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Landing zone coming into view for the first stage. Again, this is the first flight for this booster and first landing attempt.
Let's go. Looking good.
Stage
Oh, that's
1,
beautiful.
landing leg, deploy.
Oh, that's beautiful. They deployed those legs so close to the ground. Wow. I didn't realize it was that close.
And as you can see, a
nice job.
Perfect landing of this first stage booster. Its first flight and first landing.
Those legs barely had time to get out.
This booster will be prepared for reflight on another NRO mission later this year. This also marks our 105th overall successful recovery of an orbital class rocket, including both Falcon 9 and Heavy first stage landings. As I mentioned earlier, at the request of our customer, the National Reconnaissance Office, we are concluding our webcast coverage early today. We would like to hear the NRO for entrusting us with today's launch, and a special thanks to the Range and the Federal Aviation Administration for licensing support. For all those tuning in, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for our Starlink launch.
Yes, we will. Hopefully, as long as the weather here in Ohio looks as nice as it did in California today, right? We got that storm coming in. Hopefully it doesn't screw up my weekend plans to go camping out in the woods. It's not camping, it's glamping. We're gonna stay in a nice little wooden cabin in the hills. If the weather screws this up, it'll be the third family vacation in a row that either God or China has screwed up for us. Okay, so don't go anywhere yet because we still have some more fun to have. So we still have some more fun that needs to be had. And that's Elon's Space Tweet segment. Let me get it set up really quick. We're going to use the main display here. All right, let's do it. Elon's Base Tweet segment. Here we go. Elon's Base Twats.